Okay, so we're going to do a follow-up with a customer that's interested in buying a sewing machine and just got a phone call. So we're going to use Pipedrive. So let's go to pipedrive.com. We're going to log in, and your login should be your employee email and the same password. This makes it easy for you to just log in. You can also download this on your phone if you can't get to a computer right away. You can click Remember Me if it's on your computer so you don't have to log in every time, but not on the shop computer. I don't like to leave it there. You don't want people using your Pipedrive. You want to manage your customers and your follow-up. You'll see there's different phases of the follow-up that you want to keep track of. I'm going to go over to my Pipedrive here, and you can see the deals that are here that we've been working on. Some of them are there for as long as 3 months. Some of them are there for 2 weeks. Some of them there as short as 10 days. Some of them as long as 358 days. Somebody that's looking at buying a big piece of machinery, maybe I'm keeping track of them for over a year, following up to see when they're ready to buy. They might be waiting for a tax return or something. We're going to add this new deal, and we're going to put their name in. His name is Tom. And then there's no organization, it's not a business. The deal title, I like to make the model of the sewing machine, so type the model of the sewing machine and then also the make. So it's a Janome Skyline S7. And he's looking at buying a machine around a $2,000 price point, brand new. But we also talked about another option where we have a refurbished machine for $16.99 that still has a brand new warranty on it. So he was interested in that. And I'm going to follow up with him today, so I'm hoping to close the deal today. He's going to another store in a different place in Colorado to see the machine, so I need to make sure I call him. So sometimes, we want to do an expected close date. That would be today. We're going to save it. And then we're going to go ahead and we can look at where it pops up in the first part, in the first stage. And if we just scroll down, we can see where the new one is. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And we have our dashboard here for Tom. We need to put a little bit more information if we're going to send an email. So we're going to do his phone number. But first I'm going to plug the email in because on my note, on my piece of paper that I wrote it down on here, that's first. It's always good to transpose things from a note or from pieces of paper into Pipedrive in case the note goes away or it gets lost. Pipedrive is here as an electronic system, so we don't have to remember all of the leads and we don't have to save all of the notes and keep them somewhere. If somebody accidentally throws one away or someone else in the office moves it and you can't find it, and we can't follow, because we have to follow up with this lead today, so we don't want to lose it. We want it to be in Pipedrive. I'm going to go ahead and enter his phone number, so that's here too. That way it's all in one place, the notes, his information, all of it. So we got his phone number in to save that with the area code. Then we're going to go ahead and make some extra notes here for secondary sales. We're going to look at selling him a service program, a 5-star service program. For these kinds of machines, we're looking at least 20% of the value, no less than $400 in sewing machine service plan. So $600 to $400. I'll start out at $600 and negotiate down. So that's just a note, that's just a goal. So I'll take a note here just for reference in the future if needed. And these are the notes that were on my piece of paper, so we're just going to type these in real quick. He called in, shopping for a machine. Anytime somebody calls in shopping for a machine, you want to take notes, and we want to make sure we speak to their needs. Why are they looking at it? What's going on? Give them information, and then get their information to follow up. I told him that I needed his email address so that I could send him this information that we talked about as far as the pricing and the machine. I didn't ask for his email address up front. First I gave him information to let him know that I was trying to help him. And then I went ahead and got his email address, so I told him I could email him everything in a follow-up email as far as the pricing and the options and everything. So we're just notating that these options here so that the notes are in place in case we deal with another 5 or 10 customers or something in the next few days. And we still require more follow-up. I don't get anything mixed up. It's right here. So there's the pricing for the repack at $16.99, and there's the pricing for a brand new one at $2,000. Normal MSRP is $3,000, and we're going to call him back after sending an email follow-up with some information. So make sure to notate that. Being very detail oriented and taking the notes is important to close sales like this. Otherwise, it could have just been a phone call, talk to somebody for a little bit, and they're not going to do anything with us or buy anything with us. But he knows I'm going to follow up. He knows I'm a good resource. So even if he sees the machine at a different place, he has my email already, so he can respond to me with questions because I'm his point of contact. So I always like to say in the subject line something we talked about so they know it's not junk mail. Something specific what we talked about, like the model of the machine. It's a Janome S7. Always start out with a personal greeting. Nice to meet you over the phone. After the personal greeting, we're going to put a hyperlink with information, and I'll show you how to do that and what not to do and what to do. And say thank you for calling. I appreciate the opportunity to help you. Those kinds of things. And then, of course, I asked him about his needs. He's, is this machine for you? Is it for your wife? He said it was for his wife, and she sews upholstery. And then he put her on speakerphone, and she started describing that to me. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the hyperlink, but I will put a personal note in about his wife. You want a personal message at the beginning of the email to make sure they know that you are listening to their needs and you care about them before you just throw down product information and then pricing in the email. We need to be personable with people and build rapport even in the email. So we're going to go ahead and put the note in that this machine would work out well for her needs. That she said with her upholstery, for the reason that the machine works good for that, which is a dual feed system. It's called AccuFeed. So we want her to know that that's a good option. She's on the right track, and we want to help her for that reason. We spoke to the needs, and that's for sewing heavier fabrics. Works really well for that. Okay, so we've got our personal note in there. We're going to go ahead, put some pricing info in before we do the hyperlink. Make sure the hyperlink is in between the personal greeting and the pricing for information, so they can reference information before they go to the price. So I always give the full price first. So always put the full price in. It's $2,999, so they understand the full price, and then the discount. Never just put the discounted price. So we can also offer no interest finance. So this would only be, and we want to give them a dollar amount per month. We're going to go ahead and pull our calculator up, calculate that out. We want them to know what a monthly payment would look like. That's the same as giving a price. So about $83 a month. We like to round up to a number that's divisible by 5 with financing to account for taxes, or just, and I always say about, this isn't precisely, it depends on taxation if they buy it in a different store or something. So if they want to break it up, it's no interest financing. And I said, I forgot to mention this over the phone. This is some good information, just so they understand. And that helps let them know I'm open to communication. I want to communicate with them. And being a source of information is a great way to retarget. We want to make sure they know they can get more information from us. We know what we're doing. So now we're going to make the hyperlink. So we're going to open a new tab. I didn't just go away from my form. I opened a new tab, and we're going to type in the make and then the model of the machine into Google. Simple as that. We have some different options. We have the vendor site, and then we have the third-party site. There's a third-party selling the machine. We don't want to go there. We don't want to use that. That's a no-no. We don't want to use that. And I'll show you why. We'll actually go there to see. And you can see here on this web page, on Sewing Machines Plus, this machine is being offered 60-day money-back guarantee, free shipping to Colorado. It's the same machine. They're making it very incentivizing. And then they even throw pop-ups in there on discounts as long as you contact them. So we don't want them going there. We just want the vendor page. Always look for the vendor page. This is Janome's page. So always go to Janome's page, Miele Vacuums or Baby Lock or whatever the vendor is. Only use their page. And here we'll see the full price, which is good. They see that it is a $3,000 machine. Our offer is a much better one. We're going to copy the URL. We just went up and copied that URL. And we're going to go back to our form. With the text highlighted, we want to turn into a hyperlink. We'll click the link button, the chain. We're going to paste it in and click done. Okay, it's the link button. You paste it in to the link, and then you click done. And now it's a hyperlink. And we've put some information in the email. It's made it easy for the customer. We're sending them to the right page. There's some pricing. And then we're going to offer the repack option because that's another option that they're interested in. So in your email follow-up, especially with shoppers, it's good to offer a couple different options so they can look at a couple different types of options. They know you're flexible. So we're looking at another option here of a repack at a lower price. Same financing level, the monthly payment is lower, so we'll give them the monthly payment. And we'll calculate that real quick. Over a 24-month period is $70 or $71 a month. So it's a little bit lower payment maybe if it fits into their budget. And so basically then at the end of the email, after you've given a price proposal, always close your email. Don't just end with a price proposal. Be personable and say, you know, we'd love to win your business, not only to sell you a machine, but to make you a customer and to have a relationship with you or to help you with the machine in your creativity. We always want to say that we would like to do business with them for more than just selling a machine. So we always want to mention that in the very end. Okay, and explain, you know, with the financing, they can always make equal payments paid off early. Using smiley faces is a very good way to soften communication and make it friendly. Using emojis and smiley faces in your email is highly encouraged, actually. It's been proven to create a feeling, an emotional feeling in the email, and then let them know they can call with any other, you know, they can call to answering their questions. I always make sure my phone number's in there, my office or my cell phone. Delete any other stuff. I had a signature line there with some hyperlinks. I deleted that, not to confuse anything. Make your follow-up pretty simple. And so then, you know, always revise your message, go through it, read it one more time, make any revisions. And after you've read it a second time and you're good, then you can send your follow-up email. Boom. So once we send the follow-up email, you know, you always call a customer back. Always call a customer after you send a follow-up email. Usually the same day. In this case, they're actually going to another store to look at it, so we have to make it a point to call them later in the day, you know, maybe 2 to 3 hours down the line, see where they're at, see what's going on. Sometimes I call right after I send an email just to make sure they got it. That's always good too. So always follow up with a phone call and just say, hey, did you get my email? Can you see the information? All right, does the hyperlink work? Do you have any other questions for me? Can we make an appointment for you to come in and see the product? Try to set an appointment and always follow up that way. So we got a time that's set. And what's nice about Pipedrive is if you actually have this as an app on your phone, you can go ahead and set this activity with a time and it will remind you. And it'll actually send email reminders to your email too and say, hey, it's time to do the follow-up phone call, or hey, it's time to have a meeting or an appointment for a demonstration. So it's a great tool to use. Make sure you use the activities to schedule those things, so that way if you get pulled into something else, you get a reminder, you know you got to do that. It'll keep you on track, and it'll keep your mind a little bit more free and clear, so you're not trying to remember that kind of stuff all the time. So that's it. That's the follow-up. We've got all our notes. We did the follow-up email. Now we're going to be able to call a customer and